Hey guys, it's John V here with PhoneArena, and this is our first look between the OnePlus 5T and the LG V30. These are two awesome flagship smartphones. On the one hand, I've been using the LG V30, love the camera for its video capabilities. And now we have the OnePlus 5T, which is on the other side of the spectrum. It has some flagship qualities, but not the flagship cost. The first area I want to talk about are their designs. They're both very premium and have very similar footprints as well. Obviously, they'll come down to personal preference. You have the glass meets metal construction of the LG V30, which makes it a little bit lighter, but it also has a water-resistant construction. And then you have the all-metal anodized aluminum body of the OnePlus 5T. It feels very smooth, and I think it's a lot more durable with its choice of materials. But there are some trade-offs. You're not going to get that water-resistant construction or wireless charging. But it's nice to know that these two handsets offer headphone jacks and their fingerprint sensors are on the back. Moving on to the display, there's a slight advantage in terms of resolution with the LG V30 because it features a 6-inch 1440 by 2160 plastic OLED display. While the OnePlus 5T isn't too far behind, it has a 6-inch 1080 by 2160 AMOLED display. Most people probably wouldn't notice a difference from a normal distance, but if you're doing things like mobile VR, when you have the display very close to your eyes, with more pixels packed in a smaller area, you're going to get more detail out of the LG V30's display. For most everyday things like surfing the web or even watching videos, both displays will more than suffice. I do notice that the OnePlus 5T though offers a little bit better viewing angles. As far as their Android experiences, it's also going to come down to personal preference. You have LG's interpretation versus OnePlus's interpretation. Both are running on top of Android 7.1 Nougat, but I'd expect that both will be updated to Oreo hopefully in the near future. Visually, you're going to find clean interfaces, and they do throw on a few different types of customizations, and I like them because they're not really pervasive. They really enhance the overall experience. For example, you're going to find the floating bar with the LG V30 for quick access to certain apps, and the OnePlus 5T with Oxygen OS has this new parallel apps feature where it clones apps so you could use both your personal and work accounts. What's really impressive about the OnePlus 5T is that it leverages the same processor as the LG V30 but at a fraction of the cost. Both are running the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chip, but the LG V30 is only paired with 4 GB of RAM. On the flip side, the OnePlus 5T has 6 GB of RAM starting, and if you go up with the higher model, the 128 GB version, you get even more RAM, 8 GB of RAM, which should definitely help if you're running several apps at once, so those apps don't constantly refresh when you exit out of them. But to the LG V30's credit, it does offer expandable storage. It starts off at 64 GB of internal storage, which is the same thing for the OnePlus 5T. You could choose to get the 128 GB version, but there's no expansion with that. Since I love shooting video, I really gravitate towards the LG V30's dual camera setup because it is just fantastic for content creators. You have full manual controls for video, you have all those LG Cine effects, and you just have a lot of tools at your disposal to help you create some killer looking video. However, if you're more into taking snapshots, photography, then the OnePlus 5T's dual camera setup might be better off for you because yes, its implementation is really meant for those portrait shots. So you have a nice crisp subject in your shot and then the background's blown out. But yeah, I really can't pass judgment just yet until I take the same photo from both handsets and compare their qualities. That'll be the true indicator of which camera is better. And that's it guys, that's a quick first look comparison between these two handsets. What's really impressive is the OnePlus 5T pricing. It's at $500. And when you compare that to the $800 starting cost of the LG V30, it's just mind-boggling. You look at the difference between the two handsets, what are you paying more that you're gonna get with the LG V30 that you're not gonna get with the OnePlus 5T? And those things include, yes, a higher resolution display, you're gonna have a water-resistant construction, wireless charging, and expandable storage. But at the same time too, the OnePlus 5T doesn't have too many compromises. You're still going to have a fantastic looking premium design. You're going to have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chip, a dual camera setup. It's a flagship device in every capacity, but the pricing though really makes it compelling. So if you guys want to learn more about these two handsets, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. It's John V, signing off.